This is a very serious video, so let's be absolutely honest. The way you think determines how fast you improve. I don't think anyone can disagree with this. This is not even a controversial statement to make, but it's an important one to accept. Now, listen to this. Here's the thing. The Fortnite community is known for being delusional. You'll constantly hear excuses from your friends and peers, and it's common to hear childish mindsets in the pursuit of excellence and improvement. The twist is, by the nature of things rubbing off on you, is that this person also happens to potentially be you. This video is made for the sole purpose of figuring out whether this is you, so you can help yourself and ensure that you're not being held back anymore by the way you think. So here are 5 hard truths that you need to know and accept so that you can be well on your way to improving. I've really wanted to give back to my community recently since you guys have been supporting my videos so much. So I have an absolutely mind-blowing deal for you. Take advantage of our Black Friday sale that's going on at oneclickmouse.com/psychoma, which is actually a mouse I've designed myself specifically for Fortnite. You get it for 50% off because of our Christmas sale. If that's not good enough, we've also changed it so that there's international free shipping. This offer actually ends very soon, so get your Aspire Pro while you can by clicking the link in the description. Thank you guys so much, and now back to the video. First hard truth is to truly understand that timing and accuracy is way more important than speed. And this is not just in aiming. This is also in terms of your decisions, your actions, your movement, when you edit, when you shoot in relation to your movement. And all of these things are super important to internalize, because a lot of people don't understand that what separates a good player from a professional player is exactly that. It's timing and accuracy. It's easy to look at pro players or fast mechanical players and look at that aspect of their gameplay and correlate that to their success. But actually, what I've found in my experience is that under the hood, they also have timing and extremely accurate movement and edits and peaks and aim and everything above. And I really hope you will be convinced of this. To add to this, then let's use some examples. We all agree that Malabuka and Norilli and all of these other players that are fast and speedy have good timing. They have both. So it's very hard to distinguish their success because it's hard to tell where it comes from. But then you look at players like Epic Will and Thomas HD, who aren't necessarily as fast as the rest of them, but have had as much success or arguably even more success than the rest of them. So my argument stands. I truly believe the correlation comes from having really good timing and accuracy in everything that you do, and that speed, although a benefit, is just a supplement. I can show you endless examples of players who don't have that many earnings, who don't have success in competitive, and in general are the fastest players you have ever seen. They are really mechanical, and yet they don't have success. And if you ask yourself why that is, I truly believe the answer lies in my take. That you must be efficient and well-timed in everything that you do, and practicing for this is more important than you think. Moving on to the second hard truth is that you are not entitled to anything, and far too many people in the Fortnite community think they are, or at least they perceive they are. So what I mean by this is they will not do well for that season and they think they are amazing, or actually they do much better than they would expect, but then have very low confidence. I say this in both ways, right? I'm just a guy who wants you to be true to what the results are saying as much as you can, because actually if your results are much lower than what you think, then that is the truth. That is what you placed. That is what the leaderboard is telling you, because at the end of the day, whatever fantasy you might want to conjure in your head, if you are not placing well, then you have some work to do if you want to fix that. Far too many people in the Fortnite community are very inaccurate with how they feel in both ways. And I really think that people should start trusting results more and seeing the results for what they are, and not so much feeling like they did good or feeling like they did bad, and instead just look at the final placement and use that as your judgment of yourself. Now, this can be a little bit interesting because some people will then play one tournament, get a bad placement, and then use my advice and be like, oh, I should feel really bad about myself. To a degree, yes, but in science, they want a large sample size. So I would argue that you need a good sample size before you judge yourself to a high extent. What I mean by this is if you did bad one tournament, Yes, you should look and see what you could have improved and maybe try to fix that, but a different reaction is warranted if you do bad for the whole season, because clearly change is needed. And I'm not saying you should feel bad, I just care that you should change. But usually what ends up happening is that you need to feel bad in order to get that change, because usually people don't just change for no reason. It's very hard to get people to change, actually. It's really important that you use sample size as a good indicator, because sometimes you might lose one fight. I don't think you should lose confidence off of that, or I don't think you should feel bad off of that. But if you lose 10 fights in a row, then something is wrong, and you should use that as a way to judge yourself, because judging yourself in a negative way or seeing that you're not doing as well as you would like is actually a good thing if it's accurate. Try to really just focus on the results, but also take into account that just one result, a blip in the graph, is not really the whole story. The third hard truth to really swallow is that listening to people who are better than you is extremely underrated in the community, and people are only just beginning to start to grasp this idea. And I really believe this. People don't really like to listen to others for advice. This is just a human trait. Yet I find that this is one of the best shortcuts in order to get better at, note this, at anything, not just Fortnite. But to get better at anything, you must open up your mind to be willing to listen to the advice of those who have done better than you. And so what does this mean, right? This means your friends who clearly and significantly place better than you should listen to them, because even if their advice is slightly flawed, you can at least use it to get to that next step or that next level. And then you can reframe your mind if you need to get to the absolute truth, to get to the highest level, whatever it may be. You should listen to YouTubers like myself, like Destiny Jesus, like Jiven TV. But I really believe that there are some reputable sources that you should listen to and trust in order to get better faster. It is truly a cheat code. I myself, when I was competing, I did have a coach myself, and I did do a lot of research. Now that I think back to it, this is a huge reason why I was able to get as good as I did. And I feel like whenever you start a new game, whether it be Valorant, Overwatch, Fortnite, whatever it might be, or even a new skill, one of the best ways to get a head start right away is to hop on the internet. The fourth hard truth to accept is that your friends and peers and their mentalities and their work ethic and everything that they do will actually influence you more than you believe. This is not actually a negative or a positive statement. It's a little bit of both. So let me explain. If your friends significantly do less than you, have worse mentalities than you, if your friends do not take the game at the same level that you do, I believe that they will have a bad influence on you. You will actually lessen your intensity as a result of that. Likewise, in the other direction, if you have friends that significantly take the game more seriously than you, and you want to take the game more seriously, you want to be more professional, then I think that these friends are good for you. It's not easy to actually take and apply this advice, because it's not easy to just switch your friend group. But what I would recommend is, like, you don't necessarily have to break off with these friends because you feel like they're a bad influence for you. You can just lessen the time that you spend with them, because I totally get that the friends that you have are not necessarily some sort of like business transaction you can just cut off at any moment. And the people that you spend time with is not necessarily something like that, but you can just spend less time with them as a result of making sure that you hit your goals and you understand that you can be programmed by the people around you. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's something that you definitely have to keep in mind and do your best to apply. The final hard truth to accept, and I particularly actually left it for last for this reason, is because it is the most difficult, is that the main benefit of competing and improving in Fortnite is not the money. I'll say it again clearly. The main benefit of competing or improving is not the money. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't compete for the reason of money. I'm just saying the main benefit that comes out of this whole endeavor, this whole journey, this whole challenge is not the money, right? So if you do want to make an income off this game, or if you just want to improve to get better, I'm telling you, the main benefit that you get from this entire thing is that this journey will shape your character in such a way that it will benefit you for the rest of your life. One of the biggest beliefs that I have is that competing at a high level will shape you into a better individual because of the challenges that it provides. And then later on in life, it teaches us how to be excellent at something, and it teaches us exactly how to do that, because it's a model, it's a simulation. And if you can successfully improve, now you have learned how to learn, and then you apply that to literally anything. And I actually think this is the main benefit of school too. When people ask in school, they're like, why do you learn this thing? It's so useless, it's not applied in real life. I have a calculator right here. Well, you're not learning that actually. That's not the main benefit. The main benefit is that you're learning how to learn. And that is actually how you should treat it. I think learning how to learn is a huge one. Learning how to take accountability is a huge one. Learning the different mindsets that do and do not work in this environment will be really useful for the rest of your life. And that's how I view it. At the end of the day, this is the ultimate reward for competing in anything and challenging yourself to things that you didn't think that you could do before. But because now you have accomplished it, your identity will change and you will actually be able to take on more difficult challenges in the future. So that's it, guys. Let's summarize this entire video. So what are the 5 hard truths that we covered today? Number 1, timing and accuracy is way more important than speed. Number 2, you are not entitled to anything, and results are actually the truth. Number 3, listening to experts in any given field is highly and usually underrated. Number 4, your friends and your peers will influence you more than you believe. And number 5, the main benefit of competing is not the money. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do actually take this video seriously, then I truly believe that you will get a lot of benefit right away, because mentality is actually something that encompasses everything in improvement. And if you shape your mentality the correct way and swallow these hard truths, then I think your improvement will skyrocket. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.